Welcome to another weekly deep dive from the chicks on the right. And today is going to be really, really fun because we're going to be making fun of how just utterly pussified our country has become.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say that it's not just our country; it's probably just the softening of the world. But I don't know. I think America is probably taking the brunt of the pussification. Don't you think? We're probably more pussified than
We've mastered it.
Right.
We may not have started all the things, but somehow we have become the experts at being complete wusses about absolutely everything.
We could probably teach a class in wussification. You know, we could teach it. We could give a degree in it. In fact, I shouldn't even give people that idea because they probably will start teaching a class somewhere at some university because some of the degrees that they have out there are completely useless and have led to the wussification.
It's the current state of education is what's led to the current state of students' weakness. So I don't know that we need a whole other class because their entire curriculum has done the job. But
it's so true.
Before we get to all that, we need to give a massive shout out to our good friend Mike Lindell over at My Pillow. Look at that. See what I'm doing there with the book cover?
You're obsessed with this book cover, which is completely fabulous. I mean, you guys can get his book for free if you order something. Order the things and get his book. His book is it's fantastic. The book, his story is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then not to mention all of the products that he has on his site, the things that I have so many My Pillow things. You know, I was unpacking the other day. I've been basically unpacking for like 3 days now. I'm drowning in boxes in my new house. And it's like My Pillow thing after My Pillow thing after My Pillow thing coming out of boxes. It's like Christmas. I'm like, whoa, this is so great. I got slippers. I got a robe. I got towels. I got this. I got that. It's so great. So you guys, you got to get all the things. It's just the best stuff ever. Best stuff.
It really is. And it's so easy to pick out something amazing at mypillow.com/chicks. Use code chicks. And no matter what you want to pick out, you're going to get it with a massive discount and you're going to get Mike Lindell's book for free. So you definitely want to check out all the amazing products. You'd be surprised at what they have there, like cardigans. Hello, who knew that My Pillow would make cardigans, but they do. And they're schlubby and warm and awesome. So mypillow.com/chicks. Okay, to kick off the wussification extravaganza-thon that we're going to have on today's episode of our deep dive, we have got to just make fun briefly of Anna Lynn McCord, who I will admit I had no idea who this person is. She describes herself on Twitter as an actress, a human rights activist, and founder of The Love Storm.
What's that? What is The Love Storm?
I don't know. I'm afraid to click on it. What if it's porn?
I know that's true, but you're at home now. It's so funny because when you actually worked in an office building, you would have been like, oh, I'll click on it. And now that you're at home, you're like, what if it's porn? My kid may see it. Oh my God, we can't do that. It's so funny.
You know what? I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click on it right now. I'm clicking.
Really? Look at you. It's so...
Okay, so it's a picture of like somebody making the heart hands.
Of course, right? of course, because that is so millennial, so very millennial with the heart hands. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Love Storm is a global initiative raising awareness of human trafficking in an educational and empowering way. That's
okay. Well, all right. Well, we can't make fun of that. We can't make fun of that because that's good. It's just the hard hands are a little bit, maybe find somebody else to do your PR and your marketing. But other than that, that's great. That's awesome that she does that. I know she's some sort of an actress.
Yeah, I don't know what she's been in. I'm not. I just have never seen her face until all of a sudden last week on social media, a video that she put out from her own account of a poem that she wrote to Vladimir Putin went completely viral, and it is so dumb for real that she is trying to reach out to Vladimir Putin to tell him that she wishes she had been his mom. And so I'm going to share my screen so that if you're watching this right now, you can enjoy a little taste of Anna Lynn McCord and her poetry. Here we go.
Dear President Vladimir Putin, I'm so sorry that I was not your mother. If I was your mother, you would have been so loved, held in the arms of joyous light. Never would the stories plight the world unfurled before our eyes, a pure demise of nations sitting peaceful under a night sky. If I was your mother, the world would have been warm. So much laughter and joy, and nothing would harm. I can't imagine the stain, the soul-stealing pain that the little boy you must have seen and believed, and the formulation of thought quickly taught that you lived in a cruel, unjust world. Is this why?
Do we have to play the whole 2 minutes? Because I don't know.
No, I don't. No.
Is this why you do not hide?
Okay. All right.
It's a perfect place to stop when she looks like that. So
I can't with her. I can't. Right. That is just so ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
She got a lot of flack for that.
She did. And rightly so. Rightly so. Because it's more of a look at the poem that I just wrote. And you know what? And if we want to focus on Putin, sometimes people are just assholes, you know? Sometimes people are just become evil dictators. Seriously, if I'm going to just look at her poem and I'm going to give her some grace and I want to look at what she did and try to understand what was going through her mind when she did that, if she wasn't in fact doing it for selfish reasons, I don't know, do actors and actresses do anything other than do things for selfish reasons? But if she wasn't doing it for selfish reasons and she actually thought, I'm going to do this in a thoughtful way, I mean, really, like it's sometimes dictators, sometimes evil people are just evil people. There's evil in this world, and right. I don't know if people are if there's just this sense from some people that there's not, and that it's like, oh, I can save that person, or I could have, if I were his mother, I would have brought him to my bosom, and it would have been okay if he just would have suckled at the bosom of Anna Lynn, and everything would have been fine. That's not. It just life doesn't work that way. There is good, and then there's bad. There's good and there's evil, and there's always going to be evil. This is the thing we wrote about it in our book. I mean, it's like you cannot get rid of it. So I don't know what this notion is that they think that they can, because they can't.
Well, and her timing is just so rotten, because when this guy is invading another country and killing people left and right, maybe now's not the best time to try to get people to feel sorry for the guy in charge of it all. I mean, just think for one freaking second, Anna Lynn, about your timing. You might decide a year from now, I don't know, sometime other than in the middle of his invasion might be a better time to feel sorry for Vladimir Putin. But I can assure you that now is not the time.
I mean, it was about as tone deaf as Joy Behar saying, oh my God, I can't go to Italy now because I haven't been able to go to Italy for 4 years, you guys, and I won't be able to get pasta in Italy now. I mean, it's like these people just don't think. Is it just a celebrity thing? I don't know. If obviously it's not a millennial versus our generation thing in this particular case. It must just be celebrities are done thing, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that she got kind of just absolutely razzed for it, but she hasn't quite figured out that it was a complete mistake. And so I saw, as I went to go, pick this clip up to make sure that it was ready for our podcast, I noticed that she had done an appearance on, I think, her own podcast. She has a podcast with some guy named Ben called the Modern Spirituality Podcast. And they talk about this whole incident with her poetry. And you can tell, you'll see this, you can tell that she feels kind of dumb, but also she justifies it. So I'm gonna make sure. Let me make sure my sound is on and that it's in big end. Okay, so here she is. I think this was just a couple days ago.
People miss when they say don't pray for Putin or don't write a poem about being his mom, which that one I understand. I get the response on that one. But we do need to pray for Putin. But here's why. If Putin was so happy, and this was the point of my poem too, if he was a happy little boy that grew up happy and loved,
oh my God,
into his adulthood and was happy and loved and loving, how many people, show of hands, like, it's a podcast, I know I can't see you, but like, Do you think happy Putin, full of love, prayed for and mothered with so much joy and crazy storm love energy, do you think Putin want to invade a country, start a war?
Not. Yeah.
Does a happy person want to start a war?
Maybe. The answer to that, listen, and I'm actually, because listen, I just want to shut all this down because I can't believe I'm engaging in this conversation because these people are nut jobs, okay? Like, why are we even having this conversation? But if we're going to have the conversation, the answer to that question is maybe, because there are good parents out there. There are good people who have bad freaking evil kids.
Right.
Period. So don't be crazy. Don't say crazy things. And you're absolutely right. The timing is terrible.
Oh my
God. Shut your yapper. Shut it. And that's why she got the back. And what she should have said was, I'm really sorry. I really effed that up, you guys. That was the timing was really bad. I should have kept my mouth shut. But yet she doubles down. That was doubling down, Mock.
A happy Putin wouldn't start wars. A happy Putin would never do that.
You know what happy Putin is? Happy Putin is an oxymoron. It's like jumbo shrimp. It is. That's what that is. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move on away from Annalyn McCord because I just can't with her.
I can't. No, I can't either. That's just... No.
Before we do that, we need to remind everybody about our friends at Acre Gold. So if you are a person who can see the writing on the wall and you know disaster is imminent, because let's face it, our world, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but our world is kind of bored right now.
You in danger, girl. You in danger.
Right. So it's always a good idea, if you can, to make sure that when you're looking at your entire financial picture, your portfolio, or whatever you want to call it, that it's as diverse and spread out as possible, that you don't have all your eggs in one proverbial basket.
Right.
And a good way to do that is to subscribe to gold. And you can do that with Acre Gold. If you go to getacregold.com/chicks.
Mm-hmm.
You can basically sign up for a layaway program for gold where you're paying a monthly reasonable amount of money, like $50, $100, whatever. And so you're basically buying gold until you hit whatever the value of a 2.5 gram bar of gold is. And then they just send it to you. And that process repeats for as long as you continue to subscribe. So you can stockpile actual physical gold. It's amazing.
Yeah. Layaway. Gold layaway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gold layaway, you guys. Yeah, that's all it is.
It's the best.
It's fantastic. Mm-hmm.
Getacregold.com/chicks. Okay. So we have a couple more examples of how dumb and wussified everybody has become. One of them we talked about in our daily dish this morning, and that is that there is a university, the University of Highlands and Islands in Scotland, which is actually right in an area known for its fishing industry. That's important. They have put a trigger warning or label, or however you want to call it. They've put a warning on the book by Ernest Hemingway, Old Man and the Sea. And the reason, that they have done that is because, and these are their words, not mine, the book contains graphic fishing scenes.
Okay. Yeah. It's instead of saying the book contains graphic fishing scenes, it should say we are putting a trigger warning out here because y'all are a bunch of pussies. I mean, it's like, because these are college kids, Mom. These are college kids. Remember when college kids used to be the ones who were like so free thinking, and they were the ones who thought about the things that the older people didn't want to think about. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, they were the ones who were expanding their minds in ways. That's what university was for. University was for critical thought, expanding your mind, learning about new things, opening your mind to so many different ways of thinking that you never thought you were going to think before. I mean, that's why people
in particular uncomfortable things.
Right.
Introducing you to thinking critically about uncomfortable things used to be what university was all about.
Precisely. That's why you went to college, was to do that, to make yourself smarter, because you push the boundaries. You thought outside the box. I mean, I hate to use that term, but you did. You thought outside the box. You were thinking in ways that you never thought before. Now it's like, it's so narrow. It's so narrow in scope, and they want it to be, they get more narrow and more narrow. And it's like, and they put trigger warnings on books, on Hemingway. What is even happening? It's in a fishing town. So the absurdity of this is even more absurd, because you've got a fishing town and you've got kids who grew up in this fishing town, right? I mean, these are kids who grew up around, they probably have parents who are fishermen, fisherwomen, you know? And so they're used to this, and so they think that they're going to be triggered by a story in a book that is about fishermen. Like, yeah.
Well, because fishing is violent, apparently. And so they want to make sure that people are prepared for the violence that they're about to read in an Ernest Hemingway novel. And just think about how dumb, like, okay, I mean, yes, if you really break it down, you're killing a fish, right? You're murdering a fish with a hook in his throat. That sounds violent. But also, who is upset by this? Like, who are the people that are actually traumatized by reading about graphic fishing scenes? Like, you know how much I love fur. Anything with fur, I love you, right? Like, if you're a creature with fur, I love you and I want to cuddle with you. And so I don't purposefully go seek out images or videos about hunting. But if I see images or videos about hunting, I'm going to be okay, right? Like, maybe I'll be like, ew. And then I'll move on with my life. And I'm not going to be scarred from seeing or reading about
that's because you're a normal human being. And you've not been coddled to the point where you've been given trigger warnings about every single little thing in your life. I mean, I think that's where we've gone wrong with this generation, is we're like, oh, we have to give them, because now they hear trigger warning and they're like, oh, I'm supposed to be upset about this. It's kind of like when you're on the playground with your kid, and you can totally relate to this because I know you do this too. When you're on the playground with your kid falls off of like a swing set and they skin their knee and they're bleeding, profusely out of their knee. And you're like, oh my gosh, everything's fine. You're okay. And you're like, holy shit. You're like a parent, you're thinking, oh God, like I can see the bone. Oh God, we're probably going to have to go to the hospital. But you just keep saying to them, it's fine, you're fine. And they look at you to see how they're supposed to react. This is what kids do. And so we are you show them, you're fine, you're totally fine. And you know what? A kid is going to look at you and go, oh yeah, I'm fine. They're not going to cry. They're really not going to cry. They're not going to do it 9 times out of 10, unless it's like super painful and a bone really is sticking out, right? So, I mean, this is the thing. This is what we're doing with all these trigger warnings. So we're telling these kids, okay, trigger warning. And then they're like, I'm supposed to be triggered by this. I should be triggered by that. And I should be triggered by that and that too and that too. And so there we have this complete generation of wusses that are triggered by every little thing. And they are so sensitive and just so pansy.
Well, and it's so funny too that you say that, because it relates to something that my 16-year-old was noticing about his school the other day, because they just relaxed all the mask mandates, right? So now they're not required to wear masks. So it's interesting because now he's saying about 30% of students continue to voluntarily wear masks. And so his point, what he said to me is, you can tell which kids have liberal parents,
right?
Because they're masked and afraid.
Totally.
And so it totally goes back to what you just said, the point you make. If you're a parent and you are creating panic in your kid is going to behave
totally
panicked.
Right.
You're making that happen.
You're absolutely doing that. Yeah. Parents absolutely do it. So you can, and gosh, your son is so right. He's so right. Because I even see it too. I see it at my kids' school where there has been for the past however many years since we moved to Texas, there has not been a mask mandate. And I still see kids, some of the kids, I'll see like maybe a few, like a handful that will be outside wearing a mask. And I'm like, I know exactly who your parents are, and I don't want to be friends with them. Don't want to be.
Well, and it doesn't end with Scotland and Old Man in the Sea. I was just doing like a quick trigger warning search this morning, and I saw Oliver Twist is another one across the United States too, not just the UK. Oliver Twist is getting the trigger warnings because of scenes of child abuse. Because when Oliver goes and says, "Please, sir, I want some more," when he wants more porridge, and he gets smacked with the soup ladle. That warrants a trigger warning because it contains scenes of child abuse. Romeo and Juliet, freaking Shakespeare, now has a trigger warning because it contains scenes of stabbing, poison, and suicide. Like, I cannot with how dumb this all is. This is just so dumb.
It's my God. I mean, they won't be like, that's the thing. Eventually, I think they're just going to ban this stuff. Because that's where they're heading.
Terrifying. Well, seriously, because Seattle,
they're just going to ban it.
Yeah, the Seattle School Board just they voted to remove To Kill a Mockingbird because, and this is their direct quote, it is a very difficult book with thorny subjects.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? What is even happening?
Yeah, because God forbid we teach our kids anything that has thorny subjects in it. We wouldn't want to do that. We wouldn't want to push them. We wouldn't want to push the level and like make them think again outside that box. We wouldn't want to do that, would we? Yeah, why do that? We should just let them be all dumb. We should just like totally dumb it down, right? It's the whole, like we've talked about before in the past too, the whole Harrison Bergeron effect of America. Everybody's got to be the same. Everything's like homogenized. We got to make everybody like this way and don't let anybody think differently than anybody else. It's gross. What are we doing?
We're creating a generation. I mean, imagine this generation like going off to war.
Oh my God. I mean?
It's terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah. It's interesting because you actually said that the other day, and I feel for you because you do have a boy. I do. Because you were like, oh my God, what if they bring back a draft? Which I can't imagine it, if just hypothetically, if there were ever a World War III and they had to bring back a draft. And I was just like, and I know you mentioned that, and I get it. I totally get it because you have a young boy. And I thought to myself, well, I bet you that at least half of the country, all the boys that would be drafted, they would just start identifying as girls.
Well, yeah.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. That's right. Exactly right. Quickly, I want to mention before we talk about the trauma that some people in Ottawa are experiencing right now, we do want to mention our friends at Omaha Steaks, because right now, you guys, 50% off the Omaha Steaks sampler, which also includes, in addition to like a giant freezer full of yummy meats and sides and desserts, you also get 12 free steak burgers thrown in on top of that. If you use keyword chicks in the search field at omahasteaks.com. And I'm telling you, if you are worried about what you're seeing on the grocery store shelves and you're worried about availability in the near future or short term, Omaha Steaks you can count on. They deliver in the best little container ever. I just love it. And then their food is so freaking good.
It is the best. It's the absolute best. And it's so great. And, people should start thinking about stuff like Easter coming up. Start ordering, get that stuff in bulk, get it big, put it in your freezer, get ready for Easter, because you're going to have people over. I mean, I know that you say, oh, it's in April, Daisy, blah. But I mean, we're in March. We are in March now. Like all that stuff's going to start happening. So start thinking about that. Start thinking about Mother's Day. Start thinking about that kind of stuff, stocking up on that. And it's just a wonderful thing to have in your freezer, ready to go. Yeah.
Yes. omahasteaks.com, keyword chicks. All right. One more story, because then I want to tell you that we have some reviews, which are really always super fun when people leave us nice reviews. But I did read a story about how, because there were the truckers in Ottawa, Canada. And of course, we all know about the Freedom Convoy and the truckers and all the hullabaloo that took place. There are now people, and they showed pictures of them in this article, of several people that look like complete Justin Trudeau wannabes, like the soy boy extraordinaires, who are now suffering PTSD because of phantom honking syndrome.
I just can't. It's kind of like when you sent me a meme of like, it was like Val Kilmer from Tombstone, and it just has and it just has like the caption that says, "I'm your Hunkleberry." I swear to God, I want to get T-shirts made of that. It's the greatest thing ever. But yeah, I love it so much too. It's so fantastic. But okay, so they still hear the honking in their heads. I feel like this is this is a physical problem. They need to actually go seek medical help. If they're still hearing it, they have phantom honking in their heads. Yes. Something's wrong with them. Something is seriously wrong with these people. Like, I can't.
That's the problem, right? I mean, how do we is it that we have always had this many mentally ill people, or are we just talking about mental illness so much that people have convinced themselves that they are suffering from some sort of anxiety or depression or trauma or whatever, because they are no longer able to handle basic emotions anymore? I don't know.
That's a great question. I mean, I'd lean on your second hypothesis.
Right? It just seems, why are people so soft?
People are very soft now. People are soft because now this generation would say to us, well, you guys, didn't talk about mental health. You didn't talk about this kind of stuff. You guys you have problems because nobody talked. You were worse off because we talk about it more. And so we're more open about this kind of stuff. And so we have it way better because we explore this. Like we have, what is that? We speak truth to our power.
Oh my God. And there's less stigma, right? Around mental health, which is fine. But how has that really helped? Because to me, it just seems like everybody is batshit now. Like literally everybody has something wrong.
Well, it's not even that everybody's batshit. It's just, it kind of goes with the whole like transgender thing. It's like, it's like, the people who were transgender before, there was a very small percentage, obviously. And now it's like very trendy. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that mental health has become a trend. I'm just saying that everybody wants to put a label on what they have.
Right.
And it's because that has become trendy. It's like, well, I mean, I have this and I have that, or I have, they want to put like some sort of a title on what sort of, sometimes you just have a bad freaking day, or sometimes you have a really bad month, mm-hmm. and we've all had those, and you have to pull yourself up and you have to brush yourself off. And then you just have to, get up, buckaroo, and move on with life and just deal. And we did that. You know what I mean? We did it. And then I think doing that sometimes makes you stronger and more resilient to do it the next time. Whereas I think this generation, they're not doing that as much. They're not doing it because it's like flexing a muscle. When you don't flex that muscle doesn't get stronger, and they're not doing it as much. And so they're not getting stronger. I think that they're getting weaker because they just get to sit back and go, well, I can't because I'm weak. I can't. I just can't go on, So
and besides, I was subject to a graphic phishing scene. So
because I can't, because Hemingway, it's just too triggering. It's too triggering. And the honking, Hemingway and the honking, and it's just too much. It's too much.
Everybody has just lost their minds. All right, we need to get to some good stuff, which is we've got some reviews from our Apple Podcast platform, which I wanted to share because that's always so much fun. From Nancy. Nancy says that our podcast is a favorite. She says, I always listen to your show in the evenings when I'm getting ready for bed. Everyone's already asleep, so I have a few moments to enjoy it. A much more encouraging and laughter-filled way to listen to current news events in an ever bizarro world than other news sources. Thank you for being so much fun. Love Mike Lindell. I try to order something every few months from MyPillow. We have towels, pillows, sheets, etc. Keep up the great work. That's from Nancy. Let's see. Marie says, thank you for reporting this. Very scary times. That was on the 13th of February, so I'm not sure what topic she was referring to, but I appreciate that she left us some feedback. And then Jody from Florida said, I have been a listener for about 2 years now, and I don't know how I started my day without them. They cover the major highlights of politics and pop culture, which are all the things I need to keep current. Thank you for all you do to keep me smiling when the world is falling to crap. I love that.
That is the sweetest.
And then from Winterset Drive, Mock and Daisy, thank you for getting me through the last 2 years. I believe I would not have made it through sane if not for your words of reason. Isn't that the nicest?
Those are some really good ones.
I know, it makes my heart hurt.
I know. So nice of people. Gosh, well, we're so happy to do it, you guys. We love having you listen. We're so grateful for all of you. So very grateful. Where are all the places that people can find us, Mock? It's with the exception, our website is the first place. I think our website, we're very proud of. We're writing there a lot more. So if you guys want to go look and see, because I mean, Mock and I, for the past, 3 weeks, we've been writing there every single day, like 3 times a day. 4 to 6 times a day we've been writing there, the 2 of us together. So that's chicksontheright.com. You can check that out and all of our little writings. And then where else can people find us?
Well, we're at Chicks on Right so many places. So Rumble, Getter, Parler, Truth Social, Instagram, Twitter. Am I forgetting anything? I think those are all the things at Chicks on Right.
At Chicks on Right. Yeah, that's where you can find us at Chicks. And then Facebook, there's we have 3 pages there. 3 pages, right? Regular Facebook page. We have an insiders page, which you have to pay a little fee for, but those people are amazing. They're going to be like your new BFFs. And we give some special content there. And then we have a Facebook group also. So there are 3 pages on Facebook.
And we are very excited about the building that we're doing on our locals page. So it's chicksontheright.locals.com. And if you can see our content, most of our content you can see just by becoming a member of Locals. There's no fee for that. But if you would like to subscribe and support our page at Locals, then you'll also begin to get some insider content, and it's a very small fee to make sure that we're keeping a troll-free zone that is not under the thumb of censorship by Mark Zuckerberg and Gleeborg 9.
That's
so
right.
It's a very nice insider's place to be, because nobody has to worry, am I going to get like a content warning label on this meme that I posted? Because Facebook is constantly, striking down the dumbest stuff. So that's one other place to support us financially, which of course we appreciate, without having to worry about being censored. So
that's right.
Highly encourage people to join us at Locals as well.
Fantastic. Well, you guys, we hope you have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you next week. Same chick time, same chick channel. Bye-bye.